Greetings, Commanders, and welcome back to the Deep Space Carrier series here in Elite Dangerous. We're continuing to do exobiology and stuff around our fleet carrier. I think I want to start trying to let you guys know where we are in our journey. I used to do that back in the actual other series that we were doing. Our fleet carrier is currently located right here. We started back in the bubble over here, and we're on our way out to Colonia, which is over in this direction. But we're only doing about 3 jumps every week. We do a carrier reposition live stream every Sunday at 6, so be sure to come and join us for that. But throughout the week in between those, we more or less just kind of hang out in the space around the carrier and do as much exploration as we can, swapping out our ships as we go, because the whole point of having the fleet carrier is you can bring a bunch of ships with you. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to ask you to help us to reach the next major channel milestone of 10,000 subscribers by clicking the subscribe button, hit the like button to help the video spread out to more people so that they can subscribe. And then when you're done watching this video, we have more than 1,600 other videos. It's a lot of videos on the channel that you can watch, all different kinds of games, because I play all different kinds of stuff, and it's organized in a nice, neat little playlist to make it easy for you to find whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, in the last episode, we did end up getting super lucky and finding a first footfall stratum tectonicus, which gave us the 90 million credits that I love to get when we're able to find that. And in addition to that, we got first footfall discoveries of some other things as well. So I just decided to go straight back to the carrier, sell that off before I had some kind of a stupid accident, and we got ourselves 120 million, I think, 120 million credits out of that, which was really nice because that's about a month's worth of carrier payments based off of the 33 million credits that I have to pay every week for this thing. So yeah, it's really nice when we can find something really cool like that. But yeah, for the rest of this week, should be pretty much more of the same, just running around looking for exobiology, seeing if we can get lucky. Maybe, hopefully, coming across something super interesting visually, maybe some cool looking geysers or something, I don't know. I have a lot of experience doing exobiology, looking for sources and things like that, but I really do need to start trying to figure out looking for variables when it comes to these planets that make it have a high chance of giving us other kinds of really cool visual looking things, because, you know, making lots of money with exobiology is cool and all, but the whole point of being out here is mostly that we want to find really interesting things to see. And you know, exobiology for the most part, unless you happen to come across something super interesting biologically, generally doesn't tend to be all that visually fun. So I definitely want to start trying to figure out but I guess what I really need is, and especially if you guys could help me find a really good one, is to find a guide that's been put together that says if you look for this, then you have a good chance of finding that. So like, I'd like to find something, maybe like a reference sheet or something like that that gives me, you know, an easy checklist of things to look for. Like if you go to this kind of a star, okay, icy body with 1 biological means it's probably just bacteria. Another one probably just bacteria on it. Icy bodies almost never have anything super interesting on it. Every once in a while they will. We won't waste our time on single biology planets because it's almost always going to be just bacteria. However, we have found some pretty interesting some geometrically shaped biological sources on icy planets, which were kind of cool. So I don't write icy planet. Ooh. All right, well, we're definitely going to go check that out. I don't write icy planets off completely, but they need to have at least 3 sources before I'm going to spend the time going over there, because we've seen so many space mushrooms that I don't want to go. I don't want to go spend the time going to find yet another set of blue space mushrooms. It's just, yo. Okay. I mean, I guess we're not really in a hurry, and it has 5 biological sources over there, so I mean, I guess we can do this. Do my best to kind of stay on target here. This is very hard to control.
Temperature critical.
Alright, we'll turn that off. Well, we got ourselves 20% of the way there on that one. So we'll wait for the cooldown to happen and then pop it again once it's ready to go. Alright, cool. I don't mind that you have to pay a little bit more attention, but the lack of control with this thing is just a little too much.
Warning, taking heat damage.
Turn that off. right, we're about halfway there. Yeah, so because we don't really have to worry about distance, we're basically just meandering about. I don't necessarily mind so much going to do things like this where we take a little bit of time, especially if we're going to be getting over to a place where there's like like a significant number of biological sources. That makes it worth taking the time to do this. When we were like trying to get to a destination specifically every week, I really didn't want to have to do stuff like this, but I'm a little bit more open to spending the time on it now. Have we taken actually any damage yet? Oh yeah, a little bit. The only thing about using the Super Cruise assist is that, or the Super Cruise overdrive. We'll pop this back up into the 500s. Just to get us back into the 7-second range. Oh, hold on. I gotta be careful. I can't leave it full throttle if I'm not focused on it. And of course, the menu system did not react when I told it to. All right, there we go. All right, we'll do the rest of this manually. I'm not really trying to. We already damaged our systems enough by overheating it with the Super Cruise overdrive, so we'll manually do this. I know the camera probably seems a lot brighter than you're used to. It's gotten... Oops, I got distracted for a second. There's no point in doing anything until I slow down. Gotta wait for the sound to go down. Okay, now we can turn around. You get distracted for a second doing this, and you just overshoot. I'm trying to be less like angered by stuff like this, but it's always going to bother me a little bit. Like, it's ridiculous that I can't even just like have a second to say something, but you have to focus on it. It's super frustrating. Okay, let's get over here. We'll scan this, get down to the planet, and find out what biology we have here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't even remember what I was trying to say now. Because I got distracted by the fact that we overshot. I don't remember. We'll get the scan done, get down there. Hopefully whatever I was talking about will come back to me. Okay. Find out what's here. Hopefully there'll be something really interesting that maybe we've never seen before. It's kind of the whole point of being out here, is to find new stuff. Every once in a while you find something cool. Which is probably the way it should be. Alright, we got some stratum, tussock, osseous, fungoida. I think what we'll do is... It seems like everything else is outside of where the fungoida is, so we'll go ahead and select the fungoida as our thing to do. Let's get rid of this. And then we'll go down onto one of these patches of fungoida towards the edge, and if we're lucky, we'll find some, and if not, we'll ideally be able to find the other stuff that we're looking for. So let's see. I'm trying to find a place that looks like there's going to be some relatively flat ground. I think like right here. So I'm going to angle more like this to reposition. Slow down a little bit so that we don't slam into the atmosphere. Because the control system for this doesn't really help you that much. All the atmospheric landing thing seems to do is provide you with some instrumentation, and that's about it. You still have to enter the atmosphere manually yourself. Okay. Oh, I was trying to say, it's brighter. The camera is a little brighter now, which is probably not necessarily a good thing because I'm super pale, but I have it's super bright because I have my windows open because it's actually a really nice day today and I want to enjoy the breeze. Okay, I'm going to turn the night vision on because, as I said in the last episode, it does highlight contours of objects, and if there are some fungoida down here that we can find, it'll be much easier to see them a lot of times if you have the night vision turned on, because you'll get these nice clear contours of the edges of those. Now, it doesn't seem like we're going to get lucky and there's any fungoida nearby where we are right now. And rather than skimming around in this difficult to land in terrain, I didn't really come down here for the fungoid anyways. I mostly came down for the rest of everything that's here. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of come back out here into this flat area because it's the map. I say heat map. It's not really a heat map, but the distribution map, or whatever it is that you want to call it, said that there was a bunch of the stuff that we need here. So, however, again, it does not look like. Does not look like we. I think I got really unlucky and picked a really bad spot. Oh, here we go. Some osseous right here. Oops, I landed a little harder than I wanted to. Oops. If I can get I'm gonna try to get a better graphics card. Oh. Okay. I want to get the osseous. Is this first footfall? It is. We just made another 90 million credits. How the heck did we get Stratum Tectonicus? How do we, like, I wasn't expecting to find, I mean, I know it was a high metal content planet, but at the same time, you know, when there's a bunch of different stuff, I don't always expect to find the Stratum Tectonicus, so maybe that's a paradigm I need to adjust a little bit. The last thing I was expecting was to make another freaking 90 million. I'm glad we are. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. It's just I'm surprised. I'm surprised that we ended up finding some more Stratum Tectonicus here. All right, I don't know what's going on that's causing my graphics to like just lag really hard right now. It doesn't normally do this, so I don't know if I have something running that I don't normally have running. I don't think so, and I specifically have the background removal for my camera turned off. So that's not an because that was something that was you know, draining my graphics capability enough that it was causing issues even in this game, which isn't really that graphically intensive. So I'm not sure what's causing the problems. I have a bad feeling that my graphics card is like maybe on its last legs, and then, you know, every once in it's not consistent. It's not always doing it, but every once in a while I'll just have random graphical issues where there'll be some serious lag in places where I don't really feel like there should be, because this is relatively flat ground. It's not like there's a whole lot of stuff happening right now. There's not a whole bunch of crazy terrain or a bunch of textures and stuff on the ground. It's mostly, you know, it's mostly flat and fine. So I don't know why we're having some graphical lag there. It's kind of annoying. I don't know if it's just delayed loading of things, or I don't know. Is there any osseous right near here that I can just run and grab, or? Guess not. I had a short conversation with one of my Discord members yesterday where they were saying that they were thinking about taking their Jumpaconda out, and I was like, I don't recommend that. But then I made sure I qualified it by saying that, you know, that recommendation mostly depends on how you do exploration. Like, if you've been watching this series for any length of time, you know that the way that I do exploration, the SRV isn't really a major component of anything that I do. I generally fly around and land and grab the samples and then move on. If you're the kind of person who enjoys running around in your SRV and that's the way you want to do it, then, you know, take whatever ship you want. But if you prefer to try to optimize your time and, you know, skim over the ground and use your ship's much faster speed to get things done, you really want to go with something really small like this, because it's much easier to land that than trying to land a big, you know, large ship. In like even in this part right here, as I slam into things, like you might be able to get you could probably get your Anaconda to land in this little spot right here, but even then, I don't know. It seems kind of small for that. So you would end up having to land in a bigger spot over there and then SRVing over. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to make when I say that. Is if you are fine with using your SRV, you want to take the time to do that because you enjoy that process, you know, more power to you. I personally prefer, if I can, well, I'm trying to find another osseous. I personally prefer to do it this way because you cover a lot more ground a lot more quickly this way. When you don't, I mean, I guess all these rocks are probably a bunch of little, that's probably what's causing the thing. It's all these rocks. Okay, I'm a little confused. All right, here's another one. I know we have, I probably landed right on top of it. Oops. So yeah, it's just it's a personal preference thing. I don't know. I don't know what made me think of that. I think I was mostly just thinking about how I'm just hopping back in my ship and going. For most of my exploration career, I've been flying around a Crate Phantom because it has pretty close to the same jump range as this ship does. You know, if you're gonna put if you're gonna put something, I'm sorry, I spaced out for a second, and I need to hop out and check and see, was that my last one, or was that just 2 out of the 3? No, that was just 2 out of the 3. Okay, there's a little progress bar on your canister that tells you when you're full, and I wasn't really paying attention. The jump range, like if you're going to bring stuff along, like an SRV and everything like that, then the jump range for this ship and the Crate Phantom ends up being about the same, but you can carry more with your Crate Phantom than you can with this. So like the jump range on this is 70 something, I think. 76. Whereas, I mean, I guess it's not, I guess it is a significant increase, but it's only like 10 light years increase. And what you, in my opinion, what you lose by flying this ship around in deep space just isn't worth it isn't worth the extra 10 light years of jump range that you get out of it. That's, now again, that's another personal opinion thing. I like having a second repair unit that is capable of repairing the other repair unit. So that's just kind of the way I roll. So I guess we'll land right here, hopefully. So yeah, like I'd never be able to land my Phantom in this little spot here. That is one of the big benefits of running around in a small ship. You're able to land a lot. You're able to land in a lot tighter spaces than the bigger ships. So, you know, everything's a trade-off. Having the small ship like that is really nice when you're on the ground here. Not so great when you want to have, you know, you want to take a bunch of equipment with you. My Crate Phantom has a jump range of around 64 light years, I think, fully, but I also have a bunch of extra stuff like, you know, an extra repair unit. I have the bigger version of the SRV base, so that I have 2 SRV. I'm so dumb. I'm supposed to scan those, so that I have 2 SRVs available, so that if I trash one, at least I have another one in case I need it, which, you know, isn't really that important to me because I don't really use SRVs that much anyway. But I'm the kind of person that I like to have options available to me, so that if I decide I want to pull my SRV out, it's there and it's ready to go. And by taking the Phantom, I have the ability to, you know, I have the ability to carry a spare with me. Now, obviously, going up to the Jumpaconda, if you really want to get crazy with it, you can bring fighters and all that kind of stuff with you, and you'll still have a pretty decent jump range. But landing, you're pretty much going to have to SRV everything, because like trying to like skim across the ground in that thing, like we do with these ships, is pretty unreasonable. Trying to finagle it into landing areas. Let's turn this on so that hopefully we can. The grass is especially much more easy to see when you have the night vision turned on. So, but the problem is that because it's so small. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Because it's so small, it doesn't really render until you're very close to it, and if you're moving too fast, you've more or less passed it by the time it actually shows up on the screen. So you got to be you got to find that sweet spot of you got to find that sweet spot of speed where you're. At least I thought I saw some. This is the second time that I passed an area that looked like it had some. Then I go back to look, and it's not there anymore. I could have swore I saw some little wispy things. Oh, yeah, right there. See what I mean? Like, it doesn't show up until you're basically right on top of it. So, I don't know. I think that it would be really nice if they did some changes to the way that some of this stuff renders. I don't necessarily need to have super high detail. It'll be fine if at first, you know, from far away, it just shows like patches of, you know, flat looking grass or something like that, like a grass texture on the ground. something that basically looks like bacteria from afar, but then you get up close and it starts rendering it in 3D. Like that would be much better, because then you'd be able to spot it from further away and not have to be right on top of it. But again, as people have pointed out, the intended way of doing exobiology is that you're supposed to either be in your SRV or doing it on foot. And it seems like they really have a problem with you. I don't know if they have a problem with you, but they didn't really put much effort into trying to make this shipborne way of doing it convenient at all. So I do keep that in the back of my mind when I'm doing this, but I also just try to point these things out so that people know, so that if you're trying to do it this way, you understand that, you know, if you're flying too fast and you're too far off the ground, some of this stuff is not going to show up for you, and you're going to be spending a lot of time looking for it. Okay, so we got the Tectonicus, we got the Osseous, we got the Tussock. And I guess we can go ahead and try to grab the Bacteria. Yeah, the Bacteria seems to be a decent enough different color from everything that we can go ahead and grab that. And since we're most of the way into an episode, I think we could probably... Okay, it was full. That... oh, that scared the crap out of me. I thought I just wasted a sample. I was pretty sure we finished it off. Why am I struggling with that? But anyways, yeah, we're just going to grab these last two samples. We don't really have time to go ahead and get over to another planet, try to find anything else. You know, we don't really have anything urgent to get done in pretty much any of these episodes at this point, until we start running out of tritium in our tritium reserves. And then we have to like really have a little bit of sense of urgency until we find tritium. But even then, ideally that's not going to be something that's too hard to find, because as part of our exploration, as we do all of this stuff, we'll be on the lookout for icy rings and hopefully finding some tritium hotspots. And with any luck, we'll find them early enough in the week that it won't be something that we have to stress out too much about. We can just find the hotspot, and then whenever we feel like it, we can go grab the mining ship and, you know, do a mining episode. Okay, that's 2. So we just need 1 more, and then yeah, I think we can call it good for today. So I don't know how far we're gonna have to go to find that, but it seems like there's a lot of patches here, so that's good. Let's we'll go a little bit further. This patch right here is probably good. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and call that a day. Hopefully you guys had fun. Be sure to click the like button to spread the video out to more people. Subscribe to the channel to help us reach that magic 10,000 subscriber mark. Join the channel as a member if you'd like early access to videos, among other perks. Or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. Where did that... There was a bacterial patch, and we flew over it. I'm confused. Oh, it just wasn't showing up. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode of the Deep Space Carrier series here on Elite Dangerous. Be sure to come back for the next step in our journey, and I'll see you for the next one.